Hi guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. Welcome back to the last reading vlog of the Magnolia Park series. I am so excited to be uploading this because I'm so excited to be done. You guys will see as I read this book kind of why it took me so long for me to get this up for you guys, but I've really enjoyed doing the reading vlogs. I have all of the reading vlogs for the whole series up on my channel, and it's just kind of felt like a book club. I've just been enjoying reading them with you guys, reading your comments. If you guys like me updating you guys on books, or you guys just like book content, I have 2 new accounts for you guys that are just book related. So my Instagram and my TikTok are both Kiki's Book Rats. That's my username for you guys. So you guys can follow me over there. I'll update you guys with book content, lots of different stuff. I'm also coming out with merch, and I'm working on some really exciting things for my book account that I'm so stoked to update you guys on. So follow me over on my book account. But yeah, this series has been a journey. This has been a lot, and I'm really excited to be getting this last book up with you guys and just be done with it. You know, I'm ready to start something fresh. I need to know some new reading vlog recommendations. I'm probably going to do a poll over on my Goodreads to see what kind of reading vlog I should do, or what book to read for my next reading vlogs, because like I said, it's felt like a book club with you guys, and it's just been really fun. So this is the last book we have for now. This is Magnolia Park's Into the Dark reading vlog. Let's get into it. I will say right off the bat, the last reading vlog I did, the last Magnolia Parks book I did, not the Daisy Hates one, at the end of it, I like really wasn't freaking out about Bridget because I was pretty much in denial that she actually like died. Like I was like, no, like that obviously didn't happen. Like I'm waiting to see. And then I got this book in the mail and I read the back of it, and it literally is like reeling from the devastating loss. And I'm like, oh,
yay.
So that was real book. Like I just can't picture the books without Bridget in them. Bridget was just such a mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Like I loved her, but also like I always wondered when I never got Bridget's perspective, like what was she doing?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like who was she with? Like who are her friends? What does she do? Where does she go? Like, do we get that in the, like, will I learn about her in this book? Because I'm like, I want to know, like, who are you? Because it makes me sad, which I think that's why I don't have such a strong emotional reaction to the end of the last book, because I'm just like, I don't know you. I love you, but I don't know you. Yeah. If they like called off Christian, I'm like,
I'm devastated.
I'm devastated. But like the level of naivety between like with Magnolia about like the whole situation with like Julian and Daisy and Jonah and Christian, like it's so insane.
Yes.
And then I'm reading this book and she has this assistant who follows her around and drives her around, and she's literally
doesn't leave her side.
And then this says that Jonah hired for her, and it says Daniela checks on us, and then she sits at the bar where she looks around eagle-eyed and observant. She's admittedly a rather strange. I do like her though. I'm like, she's strange because they hired her to watch you at all times of the day so that you don't die. Like I feel like something crazy will happen at the end, and it's gonna be like Daniela like boom.
Yeah. That's literally what I'm waiting for right now.
I want to love Tara, and I do love Tara, but like
it's just still not there.
It's it's explaining how like in the past 3 months since Bridget has passed, like she chose Henry, but then she never told him because his mom was in a coma, and I'm just like, I don't understand what she's doing. And then she's like crying right now at brunch with like Magnolia, and she's like, how is he? He's not talking to me. I'm just like, you were sleeping with like literal like brothers essentially at the same time. Like Magnolia, not much better when she like broke up with BJ and then like was with Christian, but I'm like, that was like a one-off thing, and she never slept with them, and she wasn't actively
really bizarre
bouncing
like,
between the two and like deciding.
It's really bizarre.
And I see people always being like, oh my god, I need Henry's book, I need Tara's book, and I'm like, I don't want to read her chaos. I just don't like it. Like, I don't really feel bad for her in this situation right here. I just got to the scene where Magnolia is like fully trying to set Tara up with Tiller, and it's just killing me because Magnolia, like, I feel so bad for her because she is going through it in every way possible. Obviously, she just lost her sister, like, she's not okay, but she's just doing so many things with all the people around her, and she's just like trying to overcompensate, and you can tell how she's being with Tara. She just feels bad, and like she's trying to get her someone because she knows Henry is not going to want to be with her. And then Henry, his ex-girlfriend, or not like his old ex-girlfriend, just came into the picture, and I'm so interested to see like where that goes, if that's gonna be his like new thing. Also, I accidentally, okay, I say it was an accident, but like I looked a couple pages ahead and I saw that Paley, whatever her face is about to come back and like speak to BJ, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so annoyed. I'm actually not even there yet, but I like looked ahead and now I'm like pissed. So anyway, that's kind of what's happening. Magnolia has her full-on ED, so she's not really like eating a lot of food, and she's being really weird about it. I'm very sussed out by BJ because there's 3 regrets that he was talking about. The second one, he was like, I don't know, I don't want to talk about that one right now. And like, so he doesn't say what it is. So I don't know exactly what it is, but like, they both are obviously keeping a lot of secrets from each other and doing things very secretively because they're like dealing with their own stuff. The difference is Magnolia needs to go to therapy, even though I don't know what therapist on earth that could help her, but she needs to go to therapy. BJ is in therapy, which I think is really good. Also, BJ knowing that Magnolia's parents, like actual parents, are sleeping together and having an affair behind Marsali or whatever, her like nanny's back, is just so insane. Like, not the husband leaving the wife to go be with the nanny and then he's cheating on the nanny with his wife. I'm just like, okay. BJ finally just had like a fight with Magnolia about the fact that she's not eating. He was just like, I know that you're not eating, and she's like, no, it's fine, I'm fine. And then he brought up the fact that she puts that little thing on his finger and checks his temperature and checks his pulse every night. And so she got super upset with him and then like went and was like, I'm going to stay at a hotel, like I don't even want to like be with you or whatever. And then of course he knows that they're gonna make up, so he like went to the hotel and was just like waiting on her. But this type of fighting, communication, I'm not gonna say it's the healthiest form of communication, but I feel like before, like old Magnolia and BJ, they wouldn't bring some of these things up. Like Magnolia doesn't deal with things well, but I feel like this is like I don't know, the way it resolved as quickly as it did gives me so much hope for them, because I feel like this wouldn't have been resolved this way in the past. But obviously because they're engaged and they're gonna have to be getting married and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, they got in a fight on their walk home out of love, out of him being concerned that she's not eating anything, and then like checking his pulse every night, and then they immediately made up, which I really like. Wait, literally as I was just saying that, I thought that this fight was going so much better than previous fights, even though it wasn't great. I'm actually screaming because Magnolia just hugged BJ the next morning. She said, how nice is us having a fight and you not screwing a random girl at a bar? And he said, right, and you not running away. Oh wait. Because she did run away, but that's because therapy, she's not in therapy, and Magnolia needs therapy. Like BJ he's doing a bit better. I just love an obsessed man. I love how obsessed and like sweet BJ is with Magnolia, just this whole book. It worries me about him because I just feel like his whole focus, his whole life is like literally about Magnolia, but it's like she is doing so bad, and she's on the plane right now and she's in the bathroom talking to her imaginary sister, absolutely losing her mind, and he's like, I just want you happy, I want to marry you right now, I can't wait to marry you. And it's just so cute. It's so cute. I love BJ in this book right now. I hate when I vlog in here because this lighting is like so bad. But anyway, I just read the scene where they're out at the pool for Magnolia's birthday, and Paley and Perry just saw both of them, and BJ just sat Paley down and was like, I have never liked you. I have never been romantically interested in you. I used you, and it was never about you, and I was never interested in you. And I'm like, the way BJ really ate though, like thank God he finally said that. I'm like, I mean, it's taken him long enough, should have been sooner, but like thank God he finally had that conversation with her. And then Paley slapped him across the face, so that was like a lot. Also, I feel bad for Magnolia because I feel like people would probably be annoyed reading this book, like, oh my god, like you can't just act like this, like you can't be like this, like you need to move on because it's been so many years since his cheating. But like I feel bad for her because she is still coming to terms with it, and it like affects every little thing that she does. So it's like when he's out or he's like going out with friends, like it's like she keeps having these thoughts and she's like, no, he would never do that to me, but he did. Oh, well, he would never act that way, but he did. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, it just is like, I understand why she's still struggling with it, but it is frustrating because I want to move on from the Haley of it all, the cheating of it all, and I just feel like she needs to go to therapy because BJ has learned a lot in therapy that he is putting into action. Unfortunately, I just read the scene where Magnolia like gave her eulogy at Bridget's funeral. This is the first time, this is the first time I've cried reading any of the Magnolia Parks book. I cried in the first one at the end of the first one, and this is the second time that I've cried. That was like such a good eulogy. I love it so much, and it's so true to Magnolia, it's so true to Bridget, and it just makes me sad. I cry all the time, but this scene is particularly really sad, and just the way that she's talking about Bridget and what she means to her. And she's like, you guys might not think of Bridget and like her legacy in her life, but like I will always think of her. And she's like saying how she's burying her guiding light, and it just makes me sad. Like this feeling that Magnolia has of like not knowing where to go or what to do with her life because Bridget is not there to tell her. Like Bridget really was her sounding board for everything, and it's so sad to think about. Tom England at the funeral is just making my heart so happy. Sweet, sweet, sweet Tom. He's having this conversation, and I just love Magnolia. She's like, so how are you guys matching tattoos? And BJ said 3 sessions deep and at a slight fade. Tom said traitor, and he's like, well, I'm marrying her. And he's just like congratulating them, and this whole interaction is just like so sweet and cute. BJ just got into like a bit of an argument with his dad, and it just makes me really sad. Like this conversation, it makes me sad for BJ because he's struggling so much with being enough for Magnolia and like being her person. And honestly, like I don't know, I just love this thought process that he's having right now. Like him being like, I actually don't know what I've done with my life. My whole life I've just been looking after Magnolia, and my dad is now telling me that I haven't even done that right, and like I don't even know what's going on. And I feel like it's like a transitional time for them because they're getting married, and it just makes me sad. Like he just asked Magnolia, he's like, did you like Tom and Julian because they did stuff, like because they like had a job and like did all this stuff? And I'm like, BJ, she was like literally obsessed with you the entire time she was with them. So Henry crying at seeing Magnolia in just like one of her dresses that she's trying on is so sweet and so cute. I love Henry so much. Okay, I'm at page 200 and Daisy is back. I kind of thought she wasn't going to come back into the picture for a long time, but she's here and she's at breakfast with all of them, and she's like talking to Magnolia like, I'm so sorry about Bridget, and Magnolia's just kind of like brushing it off. And I'm just like so interested at the fact that Daisy's back but Julian isn't. And also I love how Magnolia's like trying to make herself not concerned about the fact that she hasn't heard from Julian, but I'm like, girl, I know you're concerned. I love Daisy's role in this book, like her with Magnolia right now. Magnolia's finally just asking her, like they kind of got into a fight, but she was asking her like, is Julian okay? Is he sad? And Daisy's just like, I can't believe you're asking about like if he's sad, you want him to be sad for you. Like they're kind of getting into an argument, but they have some of that like banter and relationship that Magnolia had with Bridget, and I feel like that's what Magnolia needs. Like I feel like she needs someone like Daisy in her life, and I love Daisy, but she's not saying anything about like where Julian is or like what's going on. But Magnolia is finally like confronting Daisy just about the whole situation with Bridget, and just being like, you never called me, you never talked to me, that kind of thing. And I don't know, I just love Daisy. Magnolia just found out about her dad and her mom having an affair, which is just crazy. And then she just told Marsali or whatever, her nanny, which I'm always like, the way that they confront things, and it's always like in the heat of the moment. Like the second they find out something, they immediately go to that person and they're like, oh, by the way, they're cheating on you. I'm just like, it stresses me out. But the way that BJ and Magnolia handled this, like, I love BJ. Like, they're so unhinged. Magnolia's just so unhinged. My favorite thing about her is that, like, she is just like the biggest brat ever, and BJ like loves it so much, which I just think is so funny. She literally just got like so pissed. She jumped in this little like boat and like got off the yacht and is just like paddling away, loses an oar, and BJ's like just diving into the water like, are you okay? Like, what are you doing? And I love it. But they like resolved it immediately. She was upset that he lied to her. I'm sure this will linger with Magnolia. Like, she'll be upset that he didn't tell her initially, but they get over things quicker, which is actually really, really nice, because in previous books they haven't been able to do that. But she was very upset that he lied to her, and he was like, I'm sorry, I was trying to protect you. I was trying to like not make things worse. It has literally been a week since I last vlogged reading Magnolia Parks, and I just have to put this in here because I am struggling so much reading this last book, and it kind of makes me confused because I feel like I always compare it to other people's like reading experience, and everyone was saying how much they loved this book and it's the best one ever, and I've had moments where I've really loved it. Obviously, cue me crying at Bridget's funeral, but I like have not been wanting to pick it up, and I hate that feeling. You guys know, like, I love reading. I want to read all day, every day. Over the past week, not one time did I read through this book. Like, I think maybe I'm just feeling a little bit tired of it's like they're just not really doing anything, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's kind of like reality TV, like I've always said that when reading these books, but it's like they're doing the most mundane things, you know? It's like I keep every chapter I read, it's like them going to a restaurant and they run into this person who hates them. Like, I don't know, it just feels a little bit repetitive now. I'm still obviously very invested in the characters. Like, I'm going to finish this book and I'm gonna love it, but I just feel like it's getting just a little bit mundane in this book. Maybe it's because I would rather be reading what Daisy's doing and I want to know what's going on over there. Oh my god, Daisy's back. See, like, this is the thing, is I don't even remember what's going on in this book. Like, I'm just not mentally, like, I'm not here. The last thing I just read, now that I'm thinking about it, was Daisy telling Tara that she can date Tiller. It's like stuff like that is what I'm reading, and I'm just like, mate, I just don't care about that. Like, I honestly don't care. Like, date him or don't date him. So I'm gonna try. I just feel like at this point I'm kind of finishing it to finish it, which is what I don't want to happen. I'm hoping maybe in the next couple chapters that I read tonight, something is gonna change where I'm like, wait, and I have to like keep going. Like, I get reinvested, but I'm at page 256 right now and I'm tired. I'm stopping at page 300. I only read like less than 50 pages and I can't do it anymore tonight. I'm closing my eyes, but BJ just had a conversation with Magnolia about the food thing, which I'm really glad he did, because it's 300 pages in and she's been doing this weird food thing where she's like not letting him eat the right stuff. And I've been wanting him to say something, but she just saw him at the restaurant where he was like eating lunch with that girl, and I was just like, of course she's gonna absolutely spiral. But I do think it makes sense as to like why she's being a freak about the food. But I'm very glad that BJ said something, and I also like that everyone in their friend group like knows how she gets so that they can be more aware of that, if that makes sense. So anyway, stopping tonight. I'll be back maybe tomorrow. It's been over a week since I last vlogged because I can't get through this book, you guys. It's actually really sad. I was just like trying to take a break from it because I just can't finish it. I was getting really bored, but I read a bit today and I just got to the part where Julian is back. So that's like re-intriguing me. It's bringing me back. If anyone's gonna get me back into this book, it will be Julian. So I'm gonna read a little bit more. I think I'm just like, I just said this in the last clip, I feel like, but because I keep taking a break, like they're just doing like the most mundane things, and I feel like I'm just not as interested in some of the drama, like Magnolia's dad and her mom like getting back together and getting like re-engaged. Like, I don't know, I'm just like, they suck, they're terrible parents, like shocker. I don't know, like it's not making me so invested as I feel like I should be, and I don't know why. So I'm on page 342 out of, oh god, 708. Oh my god, I'm never gonna finish this book. In what twisted world am I like so team Julian? He just told her like, I'm literally in love with you, and then she's like, I loved you too, but like I am choosing BJ every single day, all the time, whatever. And then he just kissed her, and then she just went inside and like told BJ that he kissed her, and I'm just like, wait a minute. This is the craziest thing ever. I'm reading this book and BJ and Magnolia are like getting intimate, and she just said, it says that she tugged off his Namia shirt. That is so random. Namia's is the brand that Destiny works for, and it's like, it's not a small brand, but it's like, I've never seen it mentioned. Of all the brands in this whole book, it's all been like Gucci, Miu Miu, like every other brand. And I think that is so cool. And when Destiny reads this, she's gonna freak out. Some photos just leaked of BJ, and he's like with some other girl. I'm not believing this. I'm just gonna have to believe currently that he couldn't possibly be doing this right now. Okay, so the photos are from when he like awkwardly went in to like hug that girl, and like it was just an awkward interaction. This is why I feel like I'm getting disinterested in this book, because like I feel like a better excuse would be that this was like for a photo shoot for a campaign, and someone just like took the photos early and like released them or something. Like this fight, like this is gonna be a whole thing now, and like a whole argument and a bunch of drama, and I'm just like, it's so silly. Like as if you were like leaning in. Like it's just dumb. Julian is like with Parks protecting her, and BJ's like, she doesn't want you, she wants me, and everyone knows that you kissed her, and he just like exposed his kissing to everyone. And then he's like, she came home and had sex with me, and I'm just like, oh my god, not BJ being messy, not him being petty. And then he just punched Julian, so this is a problem. Oh, Daisy, she said kissing her? Have you lost your effing mind? Pull it together. Okay, I'm back to loving BJ. He convinced Magnolia to go to therapy, which I have been saying for so long, like she needs therapy desperately, especially because right now with the whole Bridget situation, like she's losing her marbles. Obviously, she is talking to her sister in the mirror, which I'm not really saying that that's losing your marbles. I get it, it's grief, but like she needs to go to therapy because there's so much that she needs to sort through, and I think it's gonna be so good for them. She doesn't trust BJ. She just needs to get it together. So I'm excited for her to do that. And they just told Magnolia's parents that they had a child together, and they like invited them up for December 3rd, which is so interesting because I'm like, Magnolia like literally hates them, so I'm like, why is she even including them in this? Like, I'm glad she told them, but I'm like, I wouldn't have invited them. I could see a relationship forming with Magnolia and her mom because I feel like they need that, especially since Bridget's gone, but like, I don't know about her dad, Harley. Like, he just sucks. I think I'm stopping for now, but Magnolia and her dad just had like their biggest blowout fight ever, where he basically was like, I wish it was you instead of Bridget. As I was just saying, I don't think that her and her dad's relationship can be mendable. That's like the worst possible thing you could say, but I'm really glad that BJ and him like finally fought, because that just needed to happen. I'm stopping here. I'm giving it a little bit of a break. I'm at 530 out of 720 pages. We're almost there. What just happened is they were at BJ's sister's birthday, and they saw Zadie, which is the girl who was, you know, did all that stuff to BJ. And I'm very proud of Magnolia because Magnolia went up to her and like said something to her and called her out, and she was like, I will literally have Julian kill you, which I'm like, thank you, because I feel like, not that Magnolia is not a good friend or like not a good girlfriend, but I feel like this is like an instance where like I'm very proud of her actions. Not that she should commit murder, but like I'm glad that she said something, especially for BJ, because obviously it very much affects him. So I really loved that. They've been having some really good conversations in therapy about her ED and just like the things that she needs to work on, and like also about her dealing with Bridget, talking to Bridget like in the bathroom still. I don't know when she's gonna let that go, but I do know she is probably about to go into Bridget's room and like go through all of her stuff, because she just told Allie, BJ's sister, and Bridget's like ex-best friend, not ex-best friend, it's her best friend, but like she just told her, I'm gonna go through her stuff and I'll find something. So I feel like she's gonna maybe, I don't know, I feel like she's gonna find something really sentimental in there, or maybe it will really help her with closure. They just had BJ's birthday dinner, and Christian showed up with some girl named Sasha, and then he's like, Daisy is back with Rome, which like doesn't even make sense. Like, I need to know why she's with Romeo. And then he just said that she had sex with Romeo. And Daisy's, or Magnolia's like, there's absolutely no way. And me, in my head, I'm like, there's absolutely no way. But then again, I'm like, there is a way? I don't know. Like, Daisy is just so questionable. Like, I'm also wondering if this is a situation where, because Jonah just had his like club like shot up and stuff, I'm wondering if maybe Daisy's like, the only person I can be with is Romeo, because like he protects me and we're trauma bonded. Like, I wonder if that's what's going on in her head. I need to not question it too much because I'm reading Magnolia's book, but I'm like, Christian, who the hell is this? And I love Magnolia for being so upset about this. Like, she's like, have you lost your mind? Like, have you lost your mind? Who is this girl here? Daisy is in like full meltdown mode, and she's like screaming at Magnolia, telling her that they're not actually friends, and she was just like tolerating her this whole time, which I know was not true, but like Romeo just actually kissed her. So now I'm like, wait a minute, I was like really not believing that for a second. Now I'm like so upset. Reading this scene of Magnolia fighting with Julian, like I cannot look away. It is like a train wreck. Like the way that Magnolia is screaming at Julian and being like, what is your problem? Like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, get out of my life. Like, you are ruining my life because I'm so obsessed with you. And she just doesn't understand how scary of a human he is. It's just like, this is the most insane conversation right now. Like, Magnolia's insane. Like, she's insane. And why do I love them? Like, it's sick. Like, the second I get to a Julian and Magnolia scene, I'm like immediately I'm immediately back to them. It's actually so messed up. BJ is at lunch with Jonah, and he's like, so what's wrong with Julian? Like, why is he being so rude to Magnolia? And Jonah is like, I'm telling you right now, you cannot let Magnolia go over to that house. Because the thing is they don't know, oh my God, they don't know, like, the whole reason that Magnolia got into a car accident was literally because she was dating Julian. Not only that, that car accident led to the aneurysm that killed Bridget. Which, like, by the way, I'm still like sussed out. Like, you know, when like Bridget originally died, I was like, no. She was poisoned from her Chinese food, or like something else happened. Like, I can't, to me, I'm like, I'm not believing it's aneurysm, but like it has to be because they've said it this whole book, whatever. But I'm like, Magnolia doesn't know that. If Magnolia like eventually figures out like her correlation to Julian is what led to all of this stuff happening, like, she will absolutely need to be locked up and put away because she will like not be able to process that. And so Julian being like, you need to leave me alone is so accurate. Like, she needs to leave him alone, because even her stepping foot back into that house is so bad, because then it's like all of these people are going to see that she's interacting with Julian again. She is going to be kidnapped and murdered and held hostage, and it's going to be because she's ignorant and like doesn't believe that they're bad people. This little sentence is so sweet. BJ's asking Magnolia if he wants to go, or if she wants to go on the trip with Allie. And she said, just us and Allie. And he said, yeah, and the girl in the mirror talking about Bridget, because she's still talking to Bridget in the mirror. That is so sweet of him to say. All the guys just had like their last little hurrah, like goodbye moment before Henry and BJ and then Magnolia go off to Asia. And I just know, or I feel that this is the last time that they're gonna see each other. Like, they're not gonna be with Jonah and Christian and Julian or any of these people again. Like, when they go to Asia, they're gonna come back and these people are going to be gone. Like, they're all gonna be gone because they're in deep trouble. And Christian is the one who suggested Henry to leave and go away. So I'm just like, I don't know, it's making me really sad because these are BJ's closest friends, but he really doesn't know what's going on in their life. This scene is gonna make me cry. They have Bridget's like urn with them, and they're looking at the equinox, and they're just giving like this little speech, and like Henry is just so sweet. He's like, this is literally killing me. He's like, honestly, I'll literally regret it forever, I think, that I didn't have a crack. It's just so cute. Magnolia's like, Henry. He said, what? She was hot, Parks. Sorry, Al. He said, and don't get me wrong, I love Romley, I do, but I reckon I would have loved a snog from the little Parks. This is like so sweet. Magnolia just spread Bridget's ashes up on top of the like volcano and stuff, and I'm so proud of her. I was like, tearing up reading her last kind of monologue with Bridget, like talking to her in the mirror and just saying like, I've loved being your sister. It's just so sweet and it's so sad, and I'm so proud of Magnolia. This is what she needs. They're finally married, you guys. These were the most beautiful vows I have ever read in my life. Like, these are the most well-written, like, I actually can't get over them. I mean, I just love Jessa's writing in general, but like, wow, I am obsessed with these vows. It just like completes their story so beautifully. Julian texting her, congratulations. he said bye Valentine. I'm like, my heart, I can't. Like, I need a whole Julian series. Like, I am in love with him. It's really sick. I mean, obviously I love BJ so much. I'm like crying at their vows, but like, I just know Magnolia has to be pregnant. She's like saying she's keeping a secret, and I was thinking in that scene where they like slept together in the bathtub after he saw Zadie, I was like, this would be like the perfect timing or like sequence if they were pregnant. Like if this was the time she got pregnant, was like this moment or whatever. Could be so wrong on the timing, obviously, but like it being like in the bathtub, do you know what I mean? And now she's like, I have a secret, so I'm like wondering if it's her being pregnant. Okay, it wasn't that time in the bathtub, but she is pregnant. A little Valentine baby. He said, I'm a sucker for a Parks girl. Never met one I haven't loved. So cute. 13 weeks is quite a while to wait to tell someone that you're pregnant, but it is Magnolia and she is insane. So it's done. Oh my God. I never thought I would live to see the end of this book. Which is, you know, I have such a weird mix of feelings like completing this. This book was a really long read for me. It took over a month for me to complete, which is why this reading vlog has taken so long to get up. I think for me, obviously, I feel like the way that a lot of this has ended has really like wrapped up a lot of loose ends for me. Like I feel very comfortable with this ending compared to the ending of the rest of any of their other books, but I do feel like there was a lot of stuff in here that felt very repetitive to their relationship, because I think the thing is with these books and all of the other books before this one, I feel like I know these people in and out. I know them so well. So when you're going through like the repeating of their relationship and like just the timelines and all that, it's like I have been reading this for so long now. Like I know them. Maybe if I would have taken a break between books, I wouldn't feel that way. Like maybe if I had waited a year, you know, for this to come out and like I got to this book finally, I'd be like, oh my God. But I did post about not being able to finish this book, and a lot of you guys messaged me saying you felt the same way. I do feel like there's just a lot of repetitiveness and a lot of things that were maybe just not necessary, but at the same time, the writing and the parts that I did really love, I loved so strongly, like had such an emotional impact for me. So it's like I feel like I had two very different extremes in this book. Like being so obsessed with the writing and the scenes and just like these characters, I'm so emotionally attached to them, and then also having so many scenes and parts where I'm just like, I just genuinely couldn't pick it back up. So I don't know where that leaves me like on my rating for this book. I could be giving it currently, it's so crazy because all the other books were 5 stars, but I don't want to just like give this like 4 stars or 4.5 just because it's a Magnolia Parks book and I like loved the rest of them and I love these characters. Like I almost feel like if I rate this low, I'm like, but no, like Magnolia and BJ, I love you guys so much. But I think realistically for me, this was probably like 3.75 or 4 stars. That's like where I'm like leaning to, 3.75, only because I truly haven't had such a hard time reading a book in a while, and I almost feel like it's kind of put me into a book slump. Like I'm like scared to pick up another book because I'm like, am I gonna want to read it? And I hate that feeling. I will say I'm very intrigued about Daisy and Christian's story. I can't wait to get back to them and like what is going on with them, just because I know that they've got a lot of craziness going on in their storyline. But I'm genuinely happy for Magnolia and BJ. Like I am so happy for them. This is just exactly what they need. This is just the ending to their story that they need, that I love. I think it's so special. I think my favorite part of this book was probably the scene where Magnolia was leaving Bridget's ashes up on the mountains. I felt like that was just so special and so significant. And I also just like loved the writing about how like her hiking all the way up there and stuff was kind of like reflecting on her life, or it was a reflection of her life and a reflection of grief and like how it's been for her dealing with it. I don't know, I really loved that. I thought that was so special. I loved the vows. I thought they were so special. I saw this TikTok the other day and it was talking about how like it was this girl and she was talking about how her and her boyfriend are always like there's just like no way that like anyone like loves their boyfriend as much as like, or like loves their partner or whatever as much as I love mine. Like our love is just like so special and like no one gets it. And it was about how everyone thinks that way. Like all these couples think like our love is the most special love. Like there's just no way anyone else feels this because it's just so insane. I feel that way with Brandon, and me and Brandon always talk about like that to each other. Like we're always like, there's just like no way anyone like loves someone as much as we love each other. Like there's just no way. Like there's just literally no way anyone else thinks this, because we're like, it's just so crazy. But it is true. Like other people do love each other in that exact same way. And I think that that is so, so special. And I feel like that's what really translated like to me in this book. What I really loved about that is like, I don't know, I just loved the whole scene of like BJ and Magnolia, like BJ just being like, if the greatest thing I ever do in this life is just like love you, and like if that's just the purpose of life in general, then like that's fine. Like I'm happy with that. Like what if that's what we're supposed to do? I just love that. I thought that that was so special, and I truly loved so many parts of this book, and I really loved this journey. I know that there are more books coming out, but like this is all we have for now, and I've really loved reading it. I've loved getting to know these people. I feel like I know them on such a deep level. I think reading this series so far has really helped me understand why people are so passionate about this series, why they love this series, and why they're so invested. I get it now. I am so invested in these people. Like this book, this whole series is like one of the first series that I've ever been like, I would get something from here tattooed on me, like significantly. I've been wanting book tattoos because I don't have any, but I have a couple books in mind that I would potentially get tattoos for. And this series is like the first one that I'm like, not like for characters, not that that's bad if you got tattoos for characters, but just like things, like significant stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that that's so cute. I do have a bee tattooed on me, so I can just say that that's for this book, even though it's not. But I think that's a wrap on my Magnolia Parks reading vlogs. I am gonna probably pause on the reading vlogs for a minute because I want to just read in just like at my own pace without having to do the vlogs. But I really do enjoy them, and I love having been talking to you guys while uploading these, because it's been kind of like a book club, and I've been getting to like know you guys' thoughts the whole way. If you guys like that and you guys like seeing my thoughts or like what I'm thinking about books, I do have my book Instagram, Kiki's Book Rats, and I also just started a TikTok, which is also Kiki's Book Rats, so you guys can go follow me over there, where I'll like update you guys, talk to you guys about what I'm reading, what I'm liking, what I'm not liking, all of that kind of stuff. But that is it for my Magnolia Parks reading series. I hope that you guys liked it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.